Hi, everybody, and welcome to some closing thoughts for our first online week together. Great job, all of you guys, reviewing the cartoon and really thinking critically about the messages portrayed in this picture. I want to take a moment and briefly respond to your reflections and thoughts, and then also take just a little bit of time reviewing deadlines and expectations for online forums and engagement. So the cartoon that we looked at this week really portrayed the conflict in values and beliefs in addressing the issue of poverty and really who is to blame for poverty. And many of you highlighted that the billionaire on the balcony sipping on a cocktail was hinting at this choice that was made by people experiencing poverty, and that people who struggled with poverty did so because of their own poor choices. And you know, when I think about this cartoon and just this conversation around the issue of choice, and many of you guys brought this up, I'm reminded of the many years of direct service work that I did at the YWCA here in Missoula, working with survivors of domestic and sexual violence, and working with many women with children and single women that were living in an abusive home, and they had to make the choice really every single day between staying in an abusive environment and figuring out a way to keep themselves and their children safe, or choosing homelessness really and sleeping in their car, or potentially not even having transportation, so trying to figure out emergency housing or staying at a shelter. And so that really was a choice, right? A choice between abuse or potentially homelessness, and really not an active choice for poverty, right? So really considering, of course, circumstances and larger systemic issues within our society, right, that drive people into making specific choices, having to make choices that then also lead to struggles with poverty or income insecurity, and really just situations of need, and situations where that question comes in, right? Is there individual responsibility, or do we as a society have a responsibility to really step up and say, we do need to play a role in responding to these situations of need, not just poverty, but beyond that, of course. And so a lot of you guys mentioned this idea as well, right? Individual versus social responsibility, and that comes on a continuum, and where do we draw the line? But I also thought it was really interesting that a couple of you mentioned the idea of the American dream, of course, right? Which is this mentality and a strong value and belief that we hold that is so ingrained in United States history and American culture and values. And so that is really that idea that if you work hard enough and you want it bad enough, that really everybody can achieve the American dream and can come out on top and can be wealthy, right? And can make a really good living. And so I think I would just pose the question, is that actually true, right? Is that true for everybody in our society, no matter of cultural, ethnic, religious background, socioeconomic status? Is that actually true, right? I also want to highlight one thing that Megan, our TA, mentioned, because she raised a really important question of interest, right? Whose interest is represented in maintaining the status quo, right? So who has an interest in making sure that this gap between the rich and the poor maintains and continues to grow even, right? So yeah, a lot of critical questions that were raised by all of you, and that is exactly what I want for this class, right? I do hope and want all of you to critically assess social issues and policies and programs that are trying to solve these issues, and really look at it from all perspectives: whose values, whose beliefs, whose interests are at play here, and who are the stakeholders involved. So let me move on to some quick housekeeping items. I just want to make sure that as we move forward into the semester, we're all on the same page. I want to talk about deadlines throughout the week. I know that there are a lot of deadlines, especially for online classes, and that can get confusing. So let me cut a deadline and make it easier. Some of you thought that quizzes were due at 9 p.m. on Thursday. They were initially due 9 a.m. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with a 9 p.m. Thursday deadline for both the quiz and for your initial forum post. So there are no longer 2 deadlines. Both quizzes and forum posts are due on Thursday, 9 p.m., giving you a little bit more time to get all of that done. Forum posts. Forum posts are also due, initial posts 9 p.m. and then your responses Sunday 9 p.m. And all of you really did a great job integrating chapter and readings into the post. Make sure that you freshen up on APA citation guidelines. I want all of you to make sure that you cite and quote accurately. So I really want to encourage you to review how to cite indirect information versus direct quotes. So if you summarize information from reading or the book, for example, and then cite it, right, you cite that in a specific way. But let's say you quote word for word from the book or from an article, then it looks different, right? So I want you guys to figure that out. On the first page, the information page for this class, under helpful links, there is an APA style guidebook that kind of gives you an overview of citations. And so I would encourage all of you guys to revisit that. Moving forward, I will integrate correct citations and APA style into your forum grades for each week. So make sure you utilize your resources, both posted online, but also available to you on campus, for example, the Writing Center. And then engagement. So really thank you and great job so far in posting and then also really reading and following up on your peers' posts, because this is an online class and engagement simply looks different in this class. It will take a little bit more effort from all of us than an in-person class. And so, I really thank you for not giving one-line answers or like, oh yeah, that sounds wonderful, great job, but really commenting on initial posts, sharing opinions, playing devil's advocate, maybe asking reflective follow-up questions. Good work on that. That's really what we're looking for. I also want to let you know that I expect you to engage with Megan and her posts and her questions and really responding to any of the questions she posts. And know that of course means that you have to regularly go into your forum posts and follow up and check in throughout the week, and really not just last minute 8 p.m. on Thursday or on Sunday, because that's probably not going to work out for you this whole semester. So that said, you will be graded on engagement as well and quality of writing and content for forums each week. So keep that in mind. And yeah, we're wrapping up our first couple of weeks. I look forward moving more into the nitty-gritty of policy and assessing social problems and all of that. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys online next week. So take care. If you have questions, reach out. Thank you. Bye-bye.